Everyone's favorite dysfunctional family drama is back, specifically the one that features superheroes and time travel. Yes, the Umbrella Academy is finally back on our screens, and while it's comfortably familiar, it's also completely different. Part of this is the completely new cast to rival the Hargreaves, and in today's video, we're breaking down who exactly is new to the show. First up, who are the original 7? Before we get into the rivals introduced this season, we're happy to see all the original cast back, even number 6, though a little different this time around. The Umbrella Academy is based on a comic book series by Gabriel Ba and Gerard Way. Yes, that Gerard Way, the poster child of the Black Parade. The series follows Reginald Hargreaves' adopted children in the 80s. 43 children were all born at the same time to mothers who weren't even pregnant, so it makes sense that a surprise labor would end with superpowered kids. The 7 adopted by Reginald are Luther, aka Number 1, played by Tom Hopper, whom Merlin fans might remember as Percival. The leader of the group was born with super strength, and was the only one to stick with his demanding, toxic father after all the siblings saw sense and left. He catches feelings for Number 3, and their dad is not happy. Naturally, your adopted kids falling in love is pretty weird, so he does the smart thing. He sends Luther to the moon. Next, we have Number 2, Diego, played by David Castaneda. He's got the power to manipulate things around him, which he mostly uses to throw knives. He's definitely the resident Hargreaves tough guy, being skilled in combat as well. Number 3, Allison, is played by the ex-Broadway star Emmy Raver-Lampman. She has a super unique power called rumoring. When she whispers that she heard a rumor about someone to them, she can make them do practically anything, as her words instantly become reality. She's also had a career as a film star after leaving the Hargreaves house, and had a daughter but lost custody of her. Number 4 is the fan favorite Klaus, played by Robert Sheehan. He's got the ability to communicate with the dead, which he often uses to talk to his dead brother, who doubles as his voice of reason. He also had a heartbreaking storyline where he traveled back in time to the Vietnam War and fell in love with a soldier who ultimately died. Number 5 is played by Aidan Gallagher, who has possibly the most pivotal power of all, the ability to travel through space and time. He gets trapped in an apocalyptic future and returns as his teenage self, forming the storyline for most of the series. He also first introduces us to the Commission, an agency that hires him as an assassin and works to make sure the timeline stays intact and that the apocalypse happens. The dead brother, whose main job is to be Klaus's conscience, is Number 6, Ben, who had the power to transform into a tentacled monster. This same power leads to his death, which means only Klaus can communicate with him. And the last character is the former Vanya, now Victor, played by Elliot Page. Their character doesn't have much going on apart from being a violinist, but we later find out that Victor had the strongest power of them all, and ultimately caused the apocalypse that everyone's trying to avoid/make happen. So what exactly is happening with the Sparrows? If you've watched season 2, you'll remember that it ended in a tiny bit of trouble for the Hargreaves siblings. Season 1 ends with 5 transporting everyone back to the 1960s in Dallas, so they can avoid the whole apocalypse that Victor caused with his Ray of the Moon situation. The second season followed everyone's 60s storyline in Dallas, and it ends with the siblings finally traveling back to 2019 where it all started, except there's a little issue with that. For anyone left on the planet who hasn't yet seen a time travel movie, the Hargreaves are dealing with a little case of the grandfather paradox. You know, you go back in time to kill your grandfather, but he hasn't actually had your mom or dad yet, so you technically don't exist and can't have traveled back in time. It's called a paradox for a reason after all. In 2019, Reginald Hargreaves is very much alive, as opposed to the original timeline, and he never adopted any of the 7, except the original Number 6, Ben, who's had a complete personality transformation for the worse. Hargreaves quickly lets them know that they were never his kids. Instead, it's the new guys, known as the Sparrow Academy. The first episode of the season also features a different point of view from the pilot of the series. Random women dropping to the ground and giving birth after absorbing that glitter Reginald was tossing around. However, this time it's not 43 babies who are born, but 16. Reginald adopts 7, as in the original timeline. But who are these new guys? First up, we have Marcus, who is Luther's counterpart, as he also has super strength. He's basically perfection personified. Netflix describes him as charming, honest, compassionate, disciplined, the list goes on. He's played by Justin Cornwell, a Kentucky native who's previously worked with Netflix in the film Jingle Jangle and was featured in the CBS show Training Day. Number 6 has moved up a few spots, as he is now number 2, and he's done a complete 180. Gone is the kind, sweet Ben we've seen for 2 seasons. In his place, you've got a vicious, power-hungry new version that nobody seems to be enjoying. As in the last 2 seasons, he's played by Justin H. Min. Number 3, Faye, is not like other girls. She's calculated, smart, and has a bit of a crow obsession. It's literally her superpower. You can never see her without her dark manicure and signature sunglasses, and you don't want to get on her bad side. Faye is brought to life by Brittany Oldford, a Canadian actress who's done some big stuff. She played Caddy Campbell in the US version of Skins and Alma Walker on American Horror Story Asylum. Next up, we've got number 4, aka Alfonso. You can tell from his disfigured face that he's been through it, because his power involves inflicting pain on others by inflicting it on himself. It's probably the most painful power you could have, but he makes up for it with his witty humor. He's played by Jake Epstein, another Canadian actor who's appeared in Degrassi: The Next Generation, Suits, and Designated Survivor. But that's not the most of it. Jake is talented on the stage too, having been in the Broadway production of Beautiful, the Carole King musical, and the North American tour of American Idiot. The new number 5 is Sloane, a sweet, soft-spoken romantic, the polar opposite of the original number 5. Her power is gravity manipulation, allowing herself to fly and having opponents float helplessly above the ground. This super smart sibling is played by Genesis Rodriguez, and she's built a career as a bilingual actress due to her Cuban and Venezuelan heritage. She's had a successful voice acting career, appearing in projects such as Big Hero 6 and She-Ra in The Princesses of Power. Number 6 is Jamie, a low-key, scary loner who spends her time with her only ally, Alfonso. She's got a weird but useful power. She can spit a venom that makes her opponents have hallucinations. Gone are the days of super strength and flying. The future is all about hallucinogenic spit. She's portrayed by Cassie David, the daughter of Seinfeld creator Larry David. Last but not least, we've got a truly show-stopping actor as number 7. Christopher Hargreaves is played by a cube. The cube can induce fear, paralysis, and cold. A true multitasker. Now in other Umbrella/Sparrow news, Euphoria meets the Hargreaves. The show on everyone's minds before the Umbrella Academy was definitely HBO's Euphoria, and we all shed a tear or two in that heartbreaking finale when Ashtray died. But don't worry, because he's back on our screens. Javon Walton has joined the cast of the Umbrella Academy as Stan. The talented young actor has also had other major roles, including a big part in Prime Video's Utopia and The Addams Family 2. Next, we have the creation of Victor. Elliot Page, the star who initially played Vanya, came out as transgender after season 2 of the series dropped. The series was quick to announce that this would not affect his role, creating the role of Victor Hargreaves, and integrating Vanya's transition into the storyline. Elliot was fully on board with the writing process, along with other experts who helped shape the character in their coming out. Fans are full of appreciation for the way the show handled the sensitive topic, and we have to give them full credit for the seamless and heartwarming way they did it. Lastly, what about that controversial storyline? The weird and borderline disturbing nature of Allison's romantic relationship with Luther was abandoned long ago, but it's come back in a way that fans aren't happy about. In an episode of the new season, Allison uses her rumor powers to sexually assault Luther, telling him she's heard a rumor that he wants her after he says otherwise. Fans are understandably mad, and the creators are saying it's because of the pain Allison has had to face. We don't know if Netflix will give a justification for it anytime soon. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of the Sparrows? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.